You probably don't hate your job. You're just out of capacity. I've been there fantasizing about quitting everything, opening a tiny bakery, disappearing to Bali, or taking a 6-month nap. But today I want to show you why your career doesn't need a massive overhaul. Your nervous system just needs margins. I'm Sophia, and I help driven women climb in corporate without the cost of burnout. Every week in my workshops, I see the same patterns. Brilliant women convinced that they need a brand new job when what they actually need is oxygen inside the job they already have. This conversation, it's about capacity, not quitting. So burnout doesn't always show up like a dramatic breakdown, like a tantrum that a 6-year-old is having. Often it looks like quiet cracking, these small self sacrifices that happen, when you eat lunch at your desk, when you never take a PTO, and, you have a little resentment along the way. You know what? Let me give you a few more examples. What about snapping at people you love, feeling foggy even after 8 hours of sleep, rereading the same email 3 times? What about just sitting in meetings, fantasizing about curling up under a desk? You say to yourself, it shouldn't be this hard, but having no idea what to change. None of that is misalignment. It's depletion, and you're running on fumes. It's like your work metabolism is over it. There's so many lies that we've been sold. If I'm struggling, it must be my job. Like, we women are so conditioned to assume that we're the problem. We jump to the biggest solution, a career pivot, a new role, a different industry. This has happened. Normally, I see this with first gen professionals. That's me. Sometimes it's the eldest daughter. Sometimes it's the type A in all of us because we're perfectionists or we're conditioned to be perfectionists. What about corporate praise for overfunctioning? Let me tell you, we've been taught to perform our way out of discomfort, not pause and assess what is actually going on. What is actually draining us? You don't need a new job. You need a new definition of success. So, what does a capacity shift even look like? A capacity shift, it's the space that allows you to show up as the strategic version of yourself instead of the survival mode version. It's not about doing less, it's about doing it differently. A few examples of like capacity shifts, because I want you to really feel what I'm talking about. How about fewer I'll just do it myself moments, or one less meeting where you're pretending to care, or saying no to something small so you can show up big? What about choosing recovery without guilt? These are ways that you can slowly start shifting your capacity to things that energize you. My favorite one is actually doing your job, not 5 other people's jobs. Look, there was a time in my last corporate role when I realized, like, I don't hate my job. I'm just maxed out. My company grew 3x, 3 times the size in 2 years. And the staff, there wasn't enough time to hire enough staff. So what does leadership say? They say, hey, just for a little bit, we need you to manage not 5 accounts, we need you to manage 10 accounts. And then, hey, that you manage 10 accounts so well, just for 3 more months, how about you manage 20? And then that 20 turns into 25. And then I'm looking around like, man, there is so much work to do. It's not that I hate it. It's just there's so much to do and not enough time. That's when I realized I was maxed out. And I also realized that the systems around me, my manager, senior leadership, even my peers, we were all being conditioned to stretch beyond our limits and then to continue to stretch beyond our limits. We're maxed out. Like, who's throwing the life raft? No one is. This is the leadership truth that no one talks about. Career happiness, it doesn't come from switching jobs because in that example I just gave you, like I loved my job, but I had to switch and I need you to switch how you hold the job. What does that mean? Again, it means maybe actually doing your job and managing up. Most high achieving women, they aren't bad at boundaries. They're just overtrained in being dependable. I want you to try this today. It's just a quick audit. Like for the next 5 hours of the day, I want you to label each task as it lifts me up, it makes me feel neutral, or it drains me immediately. Just label them, the tasks that you do, because until you start building an awareness around how you are living your life, how you're spending your day, what's utilizing your time, you can't pivot. Once you do that, then I want you to choose one micro habit, one micro shift, okay? It's what are we going to delegate? What are we going to delay? Can we decline something? Can we delete something? Or can we do it differently? Yes, they all start with D's because I want to make it easy for you to do this. Instead of approaching every day the same way and thinking to yourself, hey, I can't choose, I have to live this way, you are going to lead yourself differently. That's why we're here to talk through this. Keep in mind that one small capacity win today is bigger than any career change you're daydreaming about. And the reason why I say I want you to show up differently in the role that you have is because until you learn to do that, those problems, those toxic behaviors, how you're over giving, doing too much, doing way more than your capacity, that's going to show up in your next role. And then you'll wonder, man, 2 years down the line, why am I also happy in this role? You will tell your friends, because it's happened to me. I got a new job and I don't know if I like it. I probably need a new one. Your friends will say to you, just like mine said to me, didn't you just get that job? Man, maybe you are the problem. Okay, so if you have a demanding boss, I want you to use these scripts. I want you to use these lines. I can take this on, but to give it my best, here is a realistic timeline. You see, in this example, we're being firm. It's positioning you as strategic and not resistant, and it protects your nervous system. You aren't always in go mode. You aren't always putting out fires. You aren't sounding difficult because you're being very clear about what you can do and what's a realistic time frame to do it? What am I missing? Drop some things in the comments. What other ways could you mention this to your boss or begin to shift your capacity and what's hitting home for you? Drop some notes in the comments because this is what worked for me, but I want to know what's working for you. Where are you confusing depletion with misalignment? Where are you assuming you need a big career move when actually you just need breathing room? In fact, I want to be your accountability partner. Me, I'm signing up. In the comments, tell me one capacity shift you can make this week. Now, if this is hitting home, you're not alone. You're just overdue for something different. Subscribe to this channel so I can give you weekly tools to help you lead with strategy and not sacrifice. And if you're ready to take this work deeper, I offer workshops for teams who want their women to lead better, not harder. So find me so I can lead a workshop for your team. You don't need a capacity shift. You wait, wait, wait. You do need a capacity shift. You don't need a career escape plan. You need to build space to breathe. So let's build that together. Drop me a comment so I know what's hitting, what is coming up for you this week. Because the more we talk about it, the more we become aware, the more we can shift together.